What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days-ish. A lot of stuff to cover. I just didn't want to do a video just because I wanted all the build up and all of the sagas to come to an end. You know what I'm talking about. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the Lionel Messi saga. I'm gonna keep this part as raw as possible without any cuts, and just give you my honest opinion. From the beginning, when Messi sent the borrow fax to Bartomeu, I did think that he was gonna leave. All the signs indicated he was gonna go to City as well. Bartomeu was saying that he would resign if Messi would stay. Messi said, "No, I want to leave. I don't care. The sporting project is not good enough, and I want to win Champions Leagues and Ballon d'Ors before I retire." And now we're at a point. It's currently Friday at 11:15 p.m. and there's an announcement coming out that Lionel Messi is going to stay at Barcelona. My opinion on it is, I think if the player wanted to leave, he should have left. I think he's given more than enough to the club that he has the right to choose to when to leave, just like Xavi did, just like Iniesta did. I am still very, very happy saying as I see him rocking the Messi sweater. But, you know, an unhappy Messi at Barcelona for a whole season is going to be quite interesting. Will he stay? I don't know. After January, he will be allowed to talk to clubs and sign a pre-contract agreement with any club he wants. So the saga ends for now, but come January, it's all coming back. Bartomeu again, he wanted to keep Messi just because he didn't want to go down as the president who let Messi go. But if Messi leaves this summer, we're still going to call him out for it. Bartomeu has also been accused of corruption by the Catalan police, which is brilliant from our president. So, you know, in the end, Bartomeu is the loser and Messi's still the winner no matter what. At the end of the video, I'll have my reaction to Messi's video. Apparently there's a video of Messi coming out saying he's going to stay. I'll try and chuck that in at the end. If not, then we'll just end the video. But I do feel bad for Leo. He's being forced to stay at a club that he doesn't want to stay at. I do think that, like I reiterate again, if he wanted to leave, he should have been given the chance to leave. There's a lot of back and forth between Messi and La Liga. La Liga came out saying that Messi has a 700 million release clause and cannot leave for that unless Barcelona accepts a different offer of some sort. Rumors were said he was going to offer 100 million plus 4 players, something like that. And then Holgate Messi's father, his agent, came out with a statement saying that in Section 3, whatever, something says that after 2019-20 season, 700 release clause is gone. La Liga hit back and said that we don't know what the contract you're talking about. It clearly says here that Messi has a 700 million release clause. So it looks like Messi, at the end of the day, Messi didn't want to take Barcelona to court. He loves the club too much. He doesn't want to pull a Neymar, and he didn't want to go to court. That was the main thing for Messi. He wanted to leave in peace. Bartomeu said, "No, I'll take you to the end. You are staying until at least 2021." And Messi just, you know, conceded to the fact. He didn't want to take his club to court, and that just makes him a bigger legend, in my opinion. He's already at the top of the pyramid. We just add another pyramid just for Messi to go on the top of there, in my opinion. So we'll have Messi for the 2020-2021 season. We also have Coutinho back. He just came back in training today, and we're going to see what Coleman can do this season with Messi. Obviously, it looks like Suarez is going to leave as well. We'll talk about that in the next section about transfers. I want to stick on the Messi topic. So I did think that once the Borrow facts was sent that Messi was gone, I think he was way, way, way outside the club than inside, which was the famous quote going around. Everyone was saying he was going to leave. City had the bid. City had Guardiola. He was going to go. He had apparently a 3-hour conversation with Guardiola. And the club is now forcing him to stay, and he's going to stay. I tweeted this in the beginning of the saga that it's all in the hands of Barcelona just because he has a contract. And if no one comes in with a bid or activates his release clause, he's not going to leave. The date passed June the 10th for Messi to let the club know that he wanted to leave. And Messi's reiterating that the season ended in August due to Corona. So that's when he, you know, let the club know that he wanted to leave. So apparently his decision was made after the Osasuna game. And Bayern Munich was just, you know, the final nail in the coffin for him. Don't blame him. I would have left after this too. So it's just, yeah. So we're gonna have our captain for another season, which is good. And overall, Bartomeu out, Messi in. is what I'm getting at. We still have the elections. Whoever the next president is got a mad thing to do. They gotta sort out Messi is their first thing, and that's gonna be hard. They gotta bring him probably one of the best sporting projects for like the next 3 years, so Messi can be involved because he doesn't have that much left in him to convince him to stay. Will Messi give the next president a chance for him to try and convince him? I don't know, because come January, Bartomeu is still gonna be the president, and he's gonna be allowed to talk to any club he wants, no questions asked. So Messi's staying, and we will at least get to enjoy him for one more season. And if he leaves and signs a contract before the season ends, hopefully the fans will be in the stadium and he'll get a proper send off just like Iniesta did. So Messi si se queda. So now let's talk about the transfers over the past few days. We obviously talked about Rakitic leaving. Turns out he did not leave for free. He left for 1.5 million initial fee and then 9 million in variables, which is, not that bad, but obviously it is what it is. We rejected 80 million from PSG in 2018, I think, so it is what it is. Next two departures are looking like it's going to be Arturo Vidal and Luis Suarez. Arturo Vidal looks like he's going to go for Inter, and Luis Suarez looks like he's about to join Juventus with Cristiano Ronaldo. The problem is, both of them want to be released and join them for free. So they both want to be paid out the rest of their contracts, and then they go for free. The problem is that Barcelona wants to get at least some sort of little fee, just like they did with Rakitic for both of them. I think a fair 10 million for Vidal is fair, and 20 million for Suarez is fair, just because Suarez is still a top striker. 20 million is a bargain. I wish he went to Ajax instead, because Ajax really want him, but they can't afford his wages. Rumors are he's going to be making 10 million a year in Juventus. So those are the two departures that are most likely to happen over the next, I think, week, Suarez and Vidal. And it's going to be harder for Messi now that his best friend is not going to be here. And hopefully he'll make a new friend in Antoine Griezmann or someone, I don't know. Two players that have been rumored a lot to be coming in are Wijnaldum of Liverpool and Thiago of Bayern Munich and Memphis Depay of Lyon. Now, the strong rumors are that Coleman's top target, his number one on the list that he gave to Bartomeu, was Gini Wijnaldum. Now, Gini Wijnaldum has 1 year left in his contract at Liverpool, and Liverpool are asking for around 15 to 20 million euros. And Liverpool want to use that money to get Thiago. It's just, I can't fault Liverpool. It's brilliant business for them, selling a 29-year-old that they don't need anymore and getting in Thiago, one of the best midfielders in the world, if not the best. Well, behind De Bruyne, it's all up for debate, but I think he's in the top midfield in the world. And I'm sitting here thinking that if Wijnaldum is selling for 20 and Thiago is going for 30, just sell Braithwaite or someone, get that extra money, and then just get Thiago. La Masia, Barcelona born and bred. It's a no-brainer. 20 times a better midfielder, Spanish, fits in well, knows the language, already knows the system, grew up in the system. I just don't understand when we let, La Masia academy graduates leave. We're reluctant to bring them back in. It's just ridiculous, man. If we get Wijnaldum, I'm going to be so disappointed, but at the end of the day, I can just give my opinion. I can't really make an influence on anything. If Koeman wants Wijnaldum, he wants Wijnaldum. Every Barcelona fan in the world would rather have Thiago. I think Thiago would bring more to the team. A midfield of pianist De Jong and Thiago as a 3 would be good. Or maybe just Thiago and De Jong in the holding, and then have, Griezmann, Coutinho, Dembele, and Messi up in front of them would be nice. But it looks like it's going to be Wijnaldum because, Dutch and Dutch. Koeman's Dutch, he's Dutch, so that's what he's going to go with. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, on Depay, it's rumored that he has also 1 year left on his contract, and that Lyon are looking for around 15 to 10 million euros, which I don't think is that bad and has a flat fee. Now, Depay would come in, plays very similar to Griezmann as a center forward, false 9-ish, so he would be a backup for Griezmann at the end of the day. Personally, a lot of people are, reluctant about this. I see it as whatever kind of situation we get him, we get him. If not, he's a brilliant player at the end of the day. Dutch again, fits into Koeman's system, does really well in the Dutch team when Koeman was the manager, so wouldn't mind that. And today, Philippe Coutinho came back to training 4 days earlier than was expected. It's going to be a big season for Coutinho. He's going to stay. Koeman wants him to stay. Plus, no club wants to match our evaluation of him. So we'll see how Coutinho does this season. I have a lot of expectations for Coutinho. Hopefully he doesn't play on the left wing that much. Hopefully he plays in the midfield or in like the center attacking midfield position. But maybe some games you have to play on left wing just due to squad depth and other stuff like that, injuries, blah 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 blah. That I wouldn't mind. But if you're considering him as a left wing option, then just sell him at this point. And that's it in terms of, transfers coming in. Those are the only 3 players we've been linked with. Wijnaldum, Thiago, barely Thiago. None of the Catalan sources are linking us to Thiago, more of the outside sources. But everyone's saying we're linked with Gino Wijnaldum and Memphis Depay. And we'll see what happens. We have a couple of friendlies coming up. I think our first game of the season will be against Villarreal. And it will be on the weekend of the 27th and the 28th. Not quite sure what day and time yet. We will be having a match preview and watch along for that, of course, hopefully. And hopefully we're going to get, sell some more players. I think Alba should go. Umtiti, there are rumors that Umtiti, Barcelona want to sell him as soon as possible. No one wants to offer him, so they may just release him from his contract as well, pay him off. So a lot of stuff that can be happening with Barcelona. Now that the Messi saga is ending, Bartomeu has full focus on the transfer window, which ends in October 5th. 1 month, get some players in and get some players out. Alright guys, I'm currently out in my car, and the interview came out an hour later than expected, so I had to, end up leaving the house. But I have the quotes in front of me, and Messi has decided to stay at Barcelona for the 2020-2021 season. Didn't really decide, but he was forced. He did the interview with Goal instead of Mundo Deportivo or Sport. Tells you a lot about that because they're, right up Bartomeu's back pocket. And he explained everything, not in detail, but he just explained everything from his point of view of what he wanted and what turned out to be the, outcome. So we're going to start by reading the quote saying, "When I communicated to my wish to leave Barcelona to my wife and children, it was brutal drama. The whole family began crying. My children did not want to leave Barcelona, nor did they want to change schools. But I looked further and I want to compete at the highest level, win titles, compete in the Champions League. You can win or lose it, but it's very important, but you have to compete." So there's Messi saying that he doesn't mind winning or losing as long as we give 110%. And we didn't do that in Rome, we didn't do that in Liverpool, and we didn't do that in Lisbon. I thought that they were for sure that I was free to leave. The president always said that at the end of the season could decide if I could stay or not. Now they're clinging onto the fact that I didn't tell them before June the 10th, and when it turns out that on June the 10th they were competing for La Liga in the middle of the season because of this awful coronavirus, and the disease altered the whole season. So Messi stating that from the beginning of this year he's been telling Bartomeu he wanted to leave. Bartomeu told him, you know what, if you want to leave, you can, when it comes to the end of the season, we'll talk and we'll decide then. And since June the 10th came around and the deadline passed, Bartomeu decided, to not tell Messi. And Messi communicated at the end of the season, which was August, that he wanted to leave. And Bartomeu told him no, deadline passed. So, and this is the reason why I'm going to continue at the club, because I am forced to. I do not want to take the club to court. Now I'm going to continue in the club because the president told me that the only way out for me is for someone to activate my 700 million release clause, and that is impossible. There are other ways that we can go to trial, but I would never go to court against Barcelona because it is the club that I love, which gave me everything since I arrived. It is the club of my life, and I made my life here. That quote right there has hit all us fans really, really deep because, Neymar went to court with Barcelona. We all know that. And Messi, this guy wants to leave. And he's going to stay, put up with another year of Bartomeu's BS and this whole corruption of this board just because he doesn't want to take us to court. Because he loves us that much. That is the absolute definition of an utter legend of the club. Lionel Messi now has just brought all his expectations to a highest level. This guy was on the top of the Barcelona pyramid, but now there's a whole new other pyramid and Messi sitting on the top of it. Just because he doesn't want to take us to court, he's going to suffer another year. At least that gives us some lifeline. Hopefully the new president can try and convince him to stay. Victor Font, Juan Laporte, I don't care, anyone but Bartomeu. Maybe can try to convince him to stay. But come January, he's allowed to talk to any club. He's allowed to sign a contract agreement with any club. So it's going to be interesting. Next quotes are coming up. Barcelona gave me everything, and I gave it everything. I know that it's never crossed my mind to take Barcelona to court. I don't want him to know about anything being forced to leave, and I have to live with the new school. He cried to me and said, let's not go. Talk about here how Mateo, Thiago, his sons found out that he wanted to leave. They found out from the news. Then they asked him, please tell us it's not true. He said, yes, it's true, I want to leave. And they started crying because they don't want to leave their friends. They don't want to leave, the place that they grew up in. Because at the end of the day, Messi moved from Argentina to Barcelona at 14. So he knows how tough it is on children, right? So he doesn't want his own kids to go through that same, exact, process. Overall, on the interview, it's just complete honesty from Messi. He wanted to leave. He communicated at the beginning of the season the beginning of the year that he wanted to leave. Bartomeu didn't allow him. Well, he said, again, Bartomeu played it from his standpoint a well game. He told me, let's just wait to the end of the season, see what happens. If we win any trophies, then we'll communicate. Coronavirus hits us, deadline passes, nothing was communicated to Bartomeu, so he just said, okay. And now the only way Messi is to leave is through that activation of his release clause, which no club in the world can afford. So now my thoughts on it overall. Bartomeu is a rat. He should have, don't keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that Alfredo Martinez from Onda Cero, one of the top journalists in Barcelona, said that if Messi communicates in an interview that he will stay at Barcelona, Bartomeu will resign. Now, will he resign is the question. Probably not, because he never keeps his promises, just like Messi said in the interview, never keeps his word. So we'll see. He said that if Messi communicated in an interview that he wanted to leave, that he would resign. Now, if Bartomeu resigns, his backroom are just going to take over, so it's just going to be the same sporting project, but it is what it is at this point. We're going to go into the 2020-2021 season with Lionel Messi as our captain. Hopefully, he can go out with the Champions League. I have no hopes for that, but I'll make prayer and just pray to God that it happens. Just like, Xavi went out with the treble, and Iniesta went out with the league and Copa double. Got humiliated in the Rome, but he played a beautiful Copa del Rey final. So it does end the Messi saga for this time around. There'll probably be another Messi saga in January, and we'll have to strap our seatbelts for that. But for now, we can relax and now focus on the transfers, and we'll see what happens with the transfer. Like I said before in the video, Wijnaldum, Depay, Thiago, all linked. Not linked to any fullbacks, which is freaking worrying. And we're still in with Lautaro Martinez, which hopefully we don't get him, because I don't think he's worth it. I think he's too young to come into Barcelona as, the future number 9, so to speak. And we also have Suarez and Vidal on the departure list. Hopefully we can get rid of maybe some Deadwood and Jordi Alba, and maybe reduce some people's contract. I know there's rumors that Piqué and Busquets, Bartomeu wants to reduce their contract and their salaries. So we'll see what happens in the end. It's obviously not our choice as fans. We can just give our opinions and just hope to God that Bartomeu makes the right decisions in his final year. And that's going to be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, comment, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. Messi stays for one more year. Forza Barca.